Good evening. So, I wish to entitle this message, Don't Have the Affair. We may change the title later on. Okay, so this is a good series here. I know this is kind of a boring picture of a semi yacht, but this is a good series, Forbidden Dying for Love. No, I mean, some of them I can't even watch some of the episodes. I can't watch it. Oh my gosh. It's too heartbreaking and hits too close to home, but most of them I can watch because I love to get outside of my mind, my psyche, my own hangups, my own past, my own problems. I still have problems today, but I know an affair wouldn't solve them. I think a lot of people end up having affairs because it distracts them from their deep anxieties. I want to tell you, this is a story about a guy who had an affair. He was happily married to a former flight attendant. And the friend who talks about the guy who had the affair, who maybe died, he is quite brilliant in terms of the insights that he offers. He has a sort of transatlantic accent. So be prepared. I don't have a transatlantic accent. I have a trans Siberian accent. No, not really. A trans Ohioan accent. Because I was born in Cleveland. And around here, people don't sound like they're from Cleveland, do they? So I just try to sound like anybody in my general region. That might include New York, New Jersey, but it would not include Massachusetts. That's a very difficult accent to imitate. And the transatlantic accent, just think George Peppard, right? No, George Peppard, what are you talking about? Oh, the pop secret guy. Oh, no. Now I'm dating myself. That is to say, expiration date. Well, I hope it's not coming up soon, but I was born in 1972. Who was the guy? George Plimpton. Yeah, the pop secret guy. He had a transatlantic accent. Okay. So I don't have the affair. It could happen to anybody at any age. You think you're older, you're wiser, you know better, you've never strayed before. Boy, this series, what I like about this series, one of the things that I like about this series is that you don't really end up hating the perpetrator of the crime usually. You can see both sides and you're not overwhelmed with grief, but you're sad and you wish things could be better in the world and you wish that people would learn from other people's mistakes and not, for example, die for love, right? That's why I watch these shows. I'm trying to learn something. I'm always trying to learn. It's fascinating. I don't want to learn from some made up story. I could make up stories too. My kids want me to make up stories at bedtime, and that's very difficult for me because I don't have a really great imagination. Sometimes I'm inspired, but most of the time it's like pulling teeth trying to get me to invent the story. I would rather tell Red Riding Hood 5,000 times than to make up a new story. But see, I don't have to make up stories when I'm seeing these stories. Forbidden, Dying for Love. Why do I keep advertising for them? I don't know. I love Amazon. Amazon, I love you. I love you too much, don't I? But I just canceled my Kindle Unlimited thing because, first of all, I don't remember signing up for that. And second of all, I never used it. What the heck? Now, my husband hates Amazon. I love Amazon. My kids and I, we saw an Amazon van driving around our circle today, and my son's like, he's like 5 years old. He's like, oh, look, it's an Amazon van. But anyway, I digress as usual. So, as I was saying, I think the friend in this story, at least so far, I've only watched like 5 minutes of it, but he really has some good insights, right? When our emotions get involved, our ordinary reason goes out the window. People may rely upon us to be reasonable people, and we have a creed. We have a code of conduct. Most of us do. We say, we will not cross that line, but when emotions get involved, The line, it just squiggles and moves. It just keeps moving further and further. We're going further and further into dangerous territory. We don't realize that the line hasn't moved. We have moved. Because when you begin to ponder having an extramarital affair, you've already crossed the line when you've even begun to consider it. And as a 46-year-old woman, a very young looking 46-year-old woman, I had to deal for about 5 years with being angry at my mother for having an affair and not seeming to have any remorse about it. And I guess she must have, but she never really expressed it to me because and my father was angry too because he was blindsided. But I want to tell you, the same thing almost happened to me. That is to say, I did almost have an affair with a really goofy person. I mean, it never would have happened because God knew this person is just way too goofy. It will never happen because I never met this person in person. Because we're in the internet age, okay? And I was willing to meet this person in person. I was begging this person to actually come and meet me. He had me in the palm of his hand. He could play me. I don't know how. Some people are master salespeople and manipulators. He was one of those. I do not have that talent. I have other talents. But maybe it was his own conscience that put the brakes on it. And mine as well. God works in mysterious ways. Because we were both Christians and he's a younger guy. Not that that really makes a difference to me. When I feel emotionally close to somebody, I don't care whether they're young or old. I just want to be their friend. But he was a deceiving, lying son of a gun. Make no bones about it, friends. When somebody entices you into an affair, you're married. Okay, we're not going to talk about fornication. That's a separate issue. That's also bad. Okay. When you're married, or they're married, or you're both married, and they entice you or attempt to entice you into an affair, they have to be a lying, deceiving son of a gun. And this person had never been married. I don't know if this person ever could be married. He's one of those people that maybe couldn't even have a relationship with anybody outside of his immediate family because he's that crazy, he's that screwed up. Crazy and screwed up people are my stock and trade. Seriously, they are. I just attract them like a duck is attracted to June bugs. But now I know how to keep my distance. I keep my distance so much that I have no friends on Facebook. And that's great. Sure, I'd like to put up a more attractive, sexier picture, but every time I try, well, something goes awry. There, I just rhymed. Okay. Thank you, Lord. But I think this picture, it is good. And people might think I look haughty and unfriendly. But so what? Maybe that keeps some of the weirdos away. Maybe it's not sexy enough for you. Good, good. I'm tired of dealing with loony people. Because I'm loony enough. I don't need your loony to add to my loony. Okay, so I'm saying don't have an affair. Just watch the entire series. Have a good evening. Goodbye. And don't do other things that are bad that would make you die for love. Thank you. Goodbye.